Hello friends, it's Marianne from Keep It Simple Stamping Up, Kiss Up Cards. I am so happy to be back with you guys. This flu bug has surely kicked me good and was not able to have a video for you last Friday, but I'm back and I have an exciting, I think they're all exciting, but it's just a really neat way to make cards. And tonight we're going to make 4 cards and I'm going to walk you through the process. And it's called, I have to think about it, stack, cut, and shuffle. That's what we're going to do. We're going to stack it, we're going to cut it, and we're going to shuffle it. And then we're going to make 4 beautiful cards. So let's get to my crafting table. Okay, so I've picked out my 4, here's my 4 pieces. And you have to get them down to size. So, and I'm going to cut them all 4 at the same time. Bring my blade down. So I need to cut at 5 inches. Make sure they're 5 inches. And when I cut up, I'm always going to get a perfect cut because my paper can't shift anywhere. If I cut down, my paper shifts and then I could be out. My paper can be out by a certain, even just a little bit. And that one did not cut. I find I can do 2 at a time really well. So I think that's what I'm going to do, 2 at a time. So I made sure that was 5 inches and now 3 3/4. And then that will be the base of cutting this. Now 3 3/4. So this is a directional piece. So again, I will turn it this way and make this the 5-inch cut. And then 3 3/4. I always find when I do that turn the first time, everything, if I need it to be going lengthwise. So these pieces will be for the envelope and the inside of the card, so that will not go to waste, our scraps. So here's my 4 pieces. So we're starting out with 5 inch by 3 3/4. So we're just going to pile them like this, and I'm going to cut through all 4 at the same time. And the first cut we're going to make is 1. So this shorter edge, I'm going to cut 1 1/4. All right, so there's 1 piece. And then I'm going to turn this like this and cut. So you're just doing 1 1/4 cuts, 1 1/4 inch. So cut 1 1/4 inch from there. And keep that together. So this is called stack, cut, and shuffle. It's kind of cool. And 1 1/4 inch off of that long piece. So here's our pieces. So this piece we can leave the same. This is our second pile. We're just going to take the top piece and put it to the bottom. This one we're going to take the first and the second. You can see how the pattern is shaping up. And then this one we're going to take a 1 2 3. So that's how it's going to look when we start putting it on our card. Now we need card bases and cardstock, so let's get that picked out. So the mat piece, I'm going to take the Blackberry Bliss. So I'm going to take Blackberry Bliss is going to be my matte, and I'm going to put it on the purple. So it's going to be a very purple card. You do not have to do it that way. The color choice is all yours. So the matting is going to be 4 by 5 1/4. So here's our mats, and these are 5 1/4 by 4. And so you're just going to take the top piece, and this is going to go on like this. Whoops, I'm making a mess here. There we go. Okay. And this goes here, and this goes here. Now, that down, and we're going to just leave some space and eyeball it. So that's number 1. Number 2, so now you can see how it changes. This will go on this side. This will go down here, and this will go here. Oh, sorry. Something happened. This will go here. I think that's something happened here. I got it all smucked up, switched up. Then the next card, I did something very, okay, let's, let's start back from, okay, so if it happens that you get mixed up, just start back from the beginning. Okay, so I'm just going to put it all the way it was. That, then this, and where's my other long piece? Right here. Oops. I can't even stack it back up properly. And then this will go like this and this. All right. So let's try this again. So that's all you do. I've done it before where I've got mixed up and I just start right back from square one. So remember, this was our 5 1/4 by 4, and we cut up a 1 1/4 inch off each side. And now we have 4 stacks. This stack, I'm just going to move 1. This stack is the third stack. I'm going to move 2. And this stack, I'm going to move 3. Now, if you looked at this and thought, oh, I don't like that these two are together and these two are together, I would like if it was like this and then like this. You could absolutely do some shuffling around of it as well. That is not an issue. Not an issue at all, I think. So you just take your patterns and you do that. Then you lay out your 4 cards, right? So this is going to go on this one. And then this second stack is going to go over here. This little square one here. And then this at the bottom. Card number 2 is going to be then the top of each of those piles. And you can see how it's rotating around. All right. And then card number 3, so each one has a different starring role on this card. And so you're going to make 4 cards. With these on it. All right. So I'm going to glue this down. You can glue it down. You can use the Stampin' seal. Again, I like the glue, especially for this because it gives me some leeway. All right, I think I've shown you this trick already, but if it doesn't come out, get a pin, put it in the end, and then it opens it up for you. Move this one out of the way. So you're going to leave about 1/4 of an inch around. And I'm not securing it down just yet. You're just going to eyeball it like that. Yeah. Oh, I'm so glad that went that way. Oh my. Go. There's one glued down. So let's get the rest of them all glued down. There's 4 card fronts made. Now, don't worry about the intersection here because that's where your sentiment and anything else you're going to add will be there. You can add a sentiment, you can add bows, you can wrap a bow around and like ribbon around it. But yeah, the intersection is where you're going to put your sentiment. So that's what I'm going to do is make a sentiment for this. Right, I'm using my favorite stamp set, I think. Hugs for Love. I'm going to use it again. It's just got a lot of neat sayings. I think I like it because it's got the stamp set with the punch. And I've just used this for a lot of things. I could do a circle punch. I could do an oval punch. Heart-shaped. I could do anything like that. I'm going to use this today. Rich Raspberry for the outside. So I'm just going to stamp this up with my ink spot with Rich Raspberry. And I have it going upside down. And I have okay, I hope this worked. It did. I should have had because this is a clear acrylic stamp, I should have my foam pad underneath. And then this one, we're just gonna, whoops, put it this way so it'll stamp properly. Just put it in my stamp set, and there we're going to do that. So I'll do this for 3 more times with this. I'm going to do You Make Me Smile. Or Sending You a Big Hug. Let's do that. Sending You a Big Hug. All right, I've picked up color Juniper. And I'm just going to put that in the center. Sending You a Big Hug. Okay, so I'm going to add the ribbon, and I made out of this punch, the bow punch, is 2 different sections, and you saw me with, I could do half of it here, and then when I took a smaller strip, I could just do this bottom part. So now on this one, this leaf didn't cut at the point. Well, you know what? Not a big deal. I can cover it up, or I can cut it right off. So I can just tear it right off. You know, if that was all the paper that I had, then that was fine. No one's gonna know what you started with. So I don't often make bows, but I do love putting ribbon behind. So I'm just using my Stampin' seal. And I just like looping. Sometimes I do double loops, triple loops, but on this one, I'm just gonna do a single loop and just cut my tail. And that's gonna go on like that. So I'm gonna make those tails a little shorter. That's going to go on like that. And now I need my dots, my foam dots, to layer this up. So I didn't tie a bow, but I have a little faux bow here. Now these could be sympathy cards as well. They would make really sending you a big hug. So you can set it down like this, and then these can be just slipped in like this. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit of glue on it. Let's add just a nice little touch. Slip this one in behind like that. And this one like that. Okay, so there we have the base of one of our cards. Okay, I'm just going to finish off the others, and then we'll put them on our card base. Right, now I'm going, whoops, getting those dots everywhere. My glue is almost empty, and that's why you keep seeing me shake it down so I can get the most of it that I can. But it is getting near the end. So now I'm going to pop the card bases onto the card matting onto the card. And look at, there is one card done. Right? The gold just adds something nice to it. Use very little glue on here. That's the trick. I got a little bit of glue on there, but there we go. So I'll just finish that. Hey, there's the stamp, cut, and shuffle. 4 cards out of 4 sheets of paper, and just done by switching the piles. So there you go, folks. Stack, cut, and shuffle. And look at the beautiful cards. And all 4 cards look different because just of the way that the papers are stacked. Isn't that really nice? And I just added some gold foil with the leaves and the little sentiment. You could just add a sentiment and the bow. That would be quite all, just look just as beautiful. And then I decorated the cards. I didn't have enough paper to do the flaps, so I did the row of the hearts, but then I decorated the front of it, of each one. I had enough paper to do that. I could have decorated the back of the card, the front of the card, whatever. So that's what I've done. And the inside, I decorated the inside, but I didn't put a sentiment on it. So these cards, I'm not going to put a sentiment on the inside. Giving you a big hug, I think that leaves it wide open for whatever you want to send it for. It could be a birthday card. I'm sending you a hug for your birthday. It could be a congratulations card, sending you a big hug, celebrating your anniversary, your promotion, your retirement, all of those things, sending a big hug. And it could be a sympathy card, just sending your sympathy. So I have stamps for all of those, sentiments stamps for all of those occasions. So that's why I'm leaving these cards blank, so that I can pull it out when I quickly need it, and then just stamp it on the inside and send it off. And there we go, stamp, cut, and shuffle. Just another technique to add to your arsenal of decorating cards. And this is a good way of making, I didn't do it right now, but making cards for the male population of our lives. Could have done it with all plaids and solids, and done it with a masculine punch, and so it, or kids card, birthday cards. Oh my gosh, there's so much fun paper with for kids as well. You could have done it for that. So the opportunities are endless when you use stamp, cut, and shuffle in this. So enjoy using it. If you do use it, put a picture of your cards in the comments below. I would love to see what your creations look like when you're using some of the ideas that I'm providing to you to make your cards. And that way and not just to make them, but to send kindness out, one card